presentation about UK and European property investment, institutional thinking, real assets, long-term capital. Global capital has become more selective. Investors are no longer chasing growth at any cost. Stability and predictability now dominate decision-making. So capital flows need to be to trusted jurisdictions. Why capital still trusts the United Kingdom? It's because there's rule of law and legal certainty from historic case law and certainty about legal structures. There are transparent ownership structures, and there is deep institutional lending market. So there are numerous lenders in the market, and they all have an appetite for risk to a certain degree. And there's proven demand across cycles. This is the economic cycles. Europe is selective, not speculative. It's not one market. Europe is many markets. There are 28 countries in the European Union, and each one of them is a different market. Capital flows are to specific cities within those countries, so within those countries' economies, and to specific assets, and the returns vary depending on which country and which specific city and which assets you want to invest in. So structure and governance matter. So you need to investigate the country that you're going to invest in, and also the returns as well, and the risks appropriate to that country. So if we take the UK, there are UK investment hotspots in London. It's always a good market for capital growth. Just now is a good time to buy because prices are depressed. It's not a buyer's market. It is a buyer's market in London. Manchester, this gives high returns. Birmingham, Leeds and Bristol, these are all hotspot areas within London. There are also other areas for particular strategies where you've got regeneration projects such as HS2, you've got the nuclear projects, Hinkley Point, which has hotspots for serviced accommodation. And then you've got European growth corridors, you've got infrastructure-led generation, and you've got urban considerations of regeneration in urban areas, tourism-backed demand, and also supply constraints as a result of planning policies in different cities in Europe. So what investors actually care about, risk-adjusted returns. Obviously, there's no point in putting money into a property or an asset that isn't going to give you the required returns. Defensive income, you need to have an idea about how to protect your income. Inflation protection. Is the market economy that you're going to invest in robust, and will it give you returns over the number of years you plan to invest? And also defined exit horizons. So if you want to speak to us in more detail about any of these issues, then don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll give you the contact details later on in the presentation. So the asset classes in focus are residential. We've got hotels and apartments, mixed-use developments, urban regeneration, and income-producing commercial. There's also arguably an infrastructure category as well, but we haven't put this one in, as these usually involve much bigger amounts of investment. So if we take a UK case study, just illustrative, an off-market acquisition, planning and repositioning, so getting planning gain from the site or the property in subject, and professional delivery. You have to appoint a professional team to deliver this increase in value. So you're looking at appointments of a planning consultant, usually, an architect, plus other design team members, structural engineer, maybe essential, building surveyor, possibly, chartered surveyors for quantity surveying, evaluation, feasibility studies, risk assessment. You need to assess the risk involved in the particular project you're looking at, and looking at a structured exit strategy. So your exit could be a number of possible exits depending on what the planning constraints are, because so much of the UK property market is dependent upon the planning outcome, and this is by no means certain. Things are said to have improved recently, but it's still a very difficult hurdle to get past planning approval. European case study illustrative, it could be tourism-backed demand. We're looking at a project in Slovenia at the moment where there's good tourism demand in Kranjska Gora area, Goria, which is near Bled, and also Kranjska Gora. It's not far from Ljubljana and Brnik Airport. So there's strong operating fundamentals associated with tourism year-round, and there's a long-term international appeal. Slovenia is a very popular country that is trying to market itself in bigger markets such as Australia or the USA, Canada, and other parts of Europe. How risk is managed. So planning and legal due diligence are essential. You need to adopt conservative financial modelling. You need to obviously engage professional teams, so your investment in any particular project is going to be quite large by the time you invest in the professionals, plus the legal costs, risk assessment costs, and you need to protect yourself against the downside. So the investor journey is to identify the opportunity, to structure the acquisition, to add value, and to operate and stabilize that asset, extracting the maximum value from the ongoing rental income, and then to exit or to hold for the long term. And why investors choose this approach? Well, the first priority is capital preservation. You don't want to lose your money for a start. Growth through structure of the deal, income with resilience. This involves maximizing the value of the asset in terms of rental income usually, or it could be a lease. We do some specialized supported housing which involve long-term leases, 15 years plus, where there are no voids and no maintenance obligation because the leaseholder undertakes a full repairing and insuring lease. And then you need institutional alignment because you need funds who will loan you the funding to actually carry out such investments and developments. Where serious property conversations begin, it's with alignment with the institutional thinking. You're pushing against the tide if you don't undertake risk-free or relatively low-risk property investments and developments which are aligned with the institutions who you'll be borrowing money from. You don't want to incur penal rates for borrowing. And you need access to structured UK and European opportunities. So the conversation begins with what are your investment criteria and what do you want to invest in, and have a conversation with us about where we think that the best returns are. We're doing a number of very safe strategies at the moment, including specialised supported housing. Commercial to residential conversions is another niche that we are active in. And if you want to talk to me about any of your investment requirements, then you can call me on 07539141257. From outside the UK, that's +44 7539 141257, or the landline 0333 224 1257. From outside the UK, that's +44 333 224 1257. You can schedule a call with me at calendly.com/AlanJE, or you can contact us on WhatsApp via our website, which is alpusgroup.com. We're also on Instagram, and you'll see our YouTube channels at Alpus Group, at Alpus Property Development as well. So look forward to hearing from you if you've got any comments or queries about this presentation. Cheers.